What is the best stocks and shares ISA in 2025? To answer that question, we'll be looking at how affordable each investment platform is and what features they have to offer. To calculate fees fairly, because brokers like to charge you in lots of different ways to make them hard to compare, we've created something called the FI fee. This is pretty unique, we don't know of anyone else doing this, and this is a comparable fee across all brokers by investing in exactly the same way with each and seeing how much it would cost. I've put how this is calculated on screen now, but you should take this fee as a rough guide, especially if you invest in a very different way to how the FI fee is calculated. For example, if you're someone that likes to trade regularly, as your fees might be different to ours, or if you manually invest with lump sums into mutual funds. Fees can change at any time as well, so make sure you read all terms and do your research prior to investing. All of the brokers we mentioned today are FCA regulated and covered by FSCS protection. Nothing we say is financial advice, and we are not financial advisors. All investments have risk and can increase or decrease in value. With that being said, we'll move straight into the brokers that have the lowest FI fees on our list. Trading 212 are, as of recording this video, the joint cheapest broker to open a stocks and shares ISA with, boasting an FI fee of £0 regardless of whether you're a small investor, which we count as having a £10,000 portfolio, a medium investor with a £100,000 portfolio, or a large investor with a £500,000 portfolio. This means that you can invest with Trading 212 without paying them a single penny. This is because Trading 212 don't charge any trading commissions or account fees when investing in ETFs priced in pounds, assuming you're in the UK, with the only charges you'll incur from them being their FX fee, and that currently stands at a very competitive 0.15% when you buy or sell a share that's not priced in Great British pounds. They offer over 3,000 funds, including all of the big hitters like Vanguard and BlackRock's iShares, while giving you the choice of getting a market-leading interest rate on your uninvested cash at the time of recording. Their platform is nice and easy to use, both on desktop and mobile, with more than enough filters for you to narrow down their array of investments with. Accessibility on this platform is also a plus. You have just a £1 minimum deposit and you have the option of buying fractional shares, so you can start investing with whatever money you have available to you. Another bonus when using a Trading 212 stocks ISA is that it's fully flexible, meaning you can withdraw money from your account and pull it back in without it affecting your yearly ISA limit, assuming that you do this within the same financial year, of course. You can also get a free fractional share worth up to £100 when you sign up by using our affiliate link in the description, or you can use the promo code FIN to receive your share. We use affiliate links, but this doesn't impact the fees you pay or our opinions. Terms apply, and remember that all investments have risk. The other joint cheapest stocks and shares ISA available to you in 2025 is with InvestEngine, who also don't charge any trading commissions, and you can avoid account fees by investing in their DIY accounts and choosing your own funds. InvestEngine pride themselves on promoting a more long-term approach to investing by only offering ETFs on their platform, meaning you won't have access to buying individual stocks and shares. This is great if you're the type of person that wants to remove the temptation to trade. At the time of this video being made, they currently offer over 700 ETFs to invest into, again including all of the big name providers. And if you're new to investing and want help managing your investments, they offer a managed portfolio option for a 0.25% fee, which is really low for a managed product and makes investing more accessible for beginners. If you're happy choosing your own investments, then InvestEngine won't charge you any platform fees, but regular fund fees will still apply, and fees also apply to their life plans. InvestEngine offer a really detailed breakdown of your investments in their analytics tab, and you can see how much you actually have invested in each company within funds rather than just a percentage, which is a really nice touch that YouTube commenters have told us they like in the past. Moving on now to a broker that hasn't had this smoothest of times recently, it's Vanguard, as they decided to increase their fees for clients with balances lower than £32,000 across their accounts. Before this change, you would pay a 0.15% annual fee capped at £375 a year, regardless of how much money you had invested with them. This was somewhat cost effective, especially at lower balances, and although it wasn't the cheapest, people felt they were happy to pay a bit because of their reputation. But heading into 2025, you'll be paying a minimum of £4 a month or an FI fee of £48 a year. The fees really increase as your balance gets bigger too, with an FI fee of £150 for medium-sized portfolio balances and £375 for large portfolios. So say you had a balance of £10,000. With their previous 0.15% fee, you'd have paid £15 in fees per year, making this new charge over triple the price. However, this does exclude junior accounts. Vanguard also only offer their own funds, meaning you can't invest into individual stocks and shares, or any other funds from other providers for that matter. And even before they hiked their prices, their platform fee meant that Vanguard funds were actually cheaper to buy elsewhere rather than buying directly. But with all of that aside, they have made improvements as well. You can now manage your investments from their mobile app. However, that doesn't change the fact that they are now one of the more expensive options out of the leading platforms for all portfolio sizes, and seem to be losing a lot of their customer base due to their drastic changes. Moving on from that rollercoaster, we have Interactive Brokers, whose Stocks and Shares ISA has an FI fee of £36 a year. Though this will increase quickly if you invest or trade more than once per month due to their trading fees. Interactive Brokers' fees are a lot more complex than other brokers out there, and I think this is what puts a lot of people off. But they're certainly far from the most expensive, and they offer thousands of funds to invest into from over 600 fund families like BlackRock, Fidelity, Invesco, and so on. You also have the option of investing via their desktop or mobile app, which both offer a streamlined experience, putting them just behind InvestEngine and Trading 212 in terms of the fees you'll be paying in your Stocks and Shares ISA in 2025. Hargreaves Lansdown comes in as the next cheapest broker in terms of their FI fee, charging you £45 on any portfolio above £10,000. You'll pay a 0.45% platform fee, but this is capped at £45 when investing in ETFs, shares, bonds, and more inside an ISA, but this fee is uncapped for regular funds, so do be careful here. This is slightly expensive for smaller investors, and it's only a little bit cheaper than Vanguard on a £10,000 portfolio, but is much more cost effective as your balance grows. You do need a regular monthly direct debit to avoid their £11.95 trading fee, which would really add up if you don't invest in this way. So regular traders, just beware. You also have the option of opening a free junior stocks ISA when using their platform, so if you have kids and you want somewhere that will accommodate them, this could be an option for you. Hargreaves Lansdown is actually the biggest broker in the UK, though people have had a few concerns about them since they were recently acquired by a private equity company, which often means they'll be seeking to make higher profits as a priority. In the same bracket as Hargreaves Lansdown, you have AJ Bell, who have an FI fee of £43 for a balance of £10,000 and then £60 on larger balances. AJ Bell charge a 0.25% account fee on your investments, but this is capped at £3.50 per month when investing in exchange-traded instruments, which includes ETFs. Their trading fee of £5 for shares, reduced to £3.50 with frequent trading, is reduced to £1.50 per month for funds or ETFs with a monthly direct debit. Again, have caution here because if you invest in a different way to how our FI fee is calculated, your own fees could be much higher. Their minimum deposit is also pretty respectable, standing at £25 for ongoing monthly payments. Some brokers on this list will want a minimum of £100 a month, so they're quite accessible really. Freetrade's account fees are done on a monthly or annual basis, and to gain access to a Stocks and Shares ISA, you only need to have their standard plan, which is £5.99 a month or £59.88 a year at the time of recording, but that's the only fee that you'll pay. Some people like the fact that this fee isn't taken from your balance, but ultimately it is an additional charge, and therefore you should probably count it as part of your investments. For example, you're not investing £100 a month, you're investing £105.99, but only £100 is showing in your account. Freetrade also scale other offerings based on which account type you have, like their FX fees being cheaper, access to more stocks and ETFs, and higher interest rates on your uninvested cash. But with the standard account, you get access to over 6,200 stocks and ETFs, and your Stocks and Shares ISA is flexible, allowing for deposits and withdrawals without it affecting your yearly ISA limit. This is definitely not the cheapest account, but again, the more you scale your balance, the less impactful their fees will become. We just missed the days when they were, as their name suggested, free. While Fidelity isn't too expensive for accounts with lower balances, though it isn't the cheapest either, their FI fee becomes quite hefty when you start to add more to your account, charging you £108 a year in fees on accounts containing £100,000 or more. Fidelity's account fees of 0.35% are capped at £7.50 per month on ETFs and shares within ISAs. There's also a reduced £1.50 monthly trading fee with their regular investing service. Again, these are one to pay close attention to when looking at our FI fee because of how quickly your fees could differ if you trade in a different way to how we calculate. Fidelity also offer an investment guidance service along with multiple analytical tools to help you assess your portfolio or choose investments, and a mobile app to help manage your investments on the go. Up next is Interactive Investor, and on a balance of £10,000, the fee is £4.99 a month or £59.88 a year. So this is expensive compared to others that we've spoken about in this video. Their fee is also larger than the rest on the more expensive end, with a £143.88 FI fee on a £100,000 portfolio or higher. Interactive Investor becomes a little more cost effective if you invest in other ways with them too. For example, if you also invest into your SIP with them, or if you hold junior accounts. Again, like with a few of the brokers we've discussed, they will charge you a trading fee of £3.99 for UK and US shares, funds, ETFs, bonds and gilts, but this can be avoided with a regular monthly investment. All of the brokers we've mentioned up to this point are for people that want to manage their own investments, but what if you're specifically looking for a robo-advisor, or someone to manage your investments for you? Well, currently AJ Bell Doddle is the cheapest on the market with a flat fee of 0.15%. This is quite cheap for someone with a small portfolio, but does get expensive for larger portfolios. Unfortunately, cost on larger portfolios is just a drawback with robo-advisors and managed portfolios as a whole. The fees are rarely capped here, if ever. InvestEngine come in as the second cheapest, as their managed portfolios will charge you 0.25% a year no matter how much you invest into them. With all of the fees we've spoken about in this video, the rates are subject to change, but all are accurate as of the time this is posted. There are lots of other brokers out there as well, like iWeb and IG, just to name a couple, but typically their FI fee was either too high to include, or they weren't offering anything unique enough for us to talk about here today. If you find yourself watching this a long time after we've uploaded and want an up-to-date overview of these brokers' fees, you can click the link to our article in the description below, which will be kept up to date. And if you spot anything wrong or outdated, you can reach out to us to get it fixed. If you're new to investing and you want help making your first investment, you can watch the video on screen now which will walk you through everything.